Hey everybody, my name is Flubsher and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. So in the last episode, well, Nakito was murdered. He's like lying on the ground behind Kazuichi.
What?
He is taking it very well. Sonia is also taking it very well. Oh, what's going on here?
You serious?
Is he really dead? He's not pretending to be dead, is he? I mean, it's Nakito, you know? Let's poke him with a stick. That's right, it's Nakito. He always messes with us. He always tries to confuse us. That's why... Yeah, I don't believe he's dead. Let's just leave. I can't believe it. Nakito ended up in such a cruel state. Nakito is dead. Deep down, I believed that when the killings finally ended, I'd never see this guy again. I never expected I'd be looking at Nakito's body like this. Nakito probably thought the same thing. I couldn't help seeing it in his dead, violent face. But on this island, unbelievably abnormal occurrences happen all the time. Even Nakito couldn't escape that truth. But even something as small as that.
A body has been discovered! Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin!
Don't tell me.
The body discovery... Oh, there was a discovery... There was a discovery announcement. And it's for real.
Hey,
And Nakito is really dead?
What?
It's just that he's dead. If the body discovery announcement was made, does that mean Nakito was killed?
Killed?
Plus it's one of us. I mean, that's what it means, right?
One of us killed Nakito? One of us killed him so brutally? Then it's going to start again? Huh? The class trial is going to start soon, right? Then...
Of course.
Yep, we gotta do it. We gotta find out who's Nakito's killer is.
Hey,
No matter how you guys sacrifice, no matter who you guys sacrifice, you're determined to survive and leave this island, right? Then the time for action is now. So, allow me to give you the familiar Monokuma. Hold it right there. Well, look at my way like that. I was about to whip out the Monokuma fire in such a cool way. I was gonna be like, Sasham! And then they'll be like, wow!
stupid brother.
Shut up, I can't stand this anymore. How much longer are you going to keep putting them to death? No more, I won't let you. I'll make sure I pulverize your evil intentions.
Hey.
Say something.
This?
Oh, I remember who you are. You're Monomi!
You just now noticed?
Anyway, Monomi, if you're gonna talk about my attention, why don't you talk about yours first?
Huh?
What's your intentions anyway? Why are you keeping everyone cooped up on this island? I'm sure everyone here wants to know too, you know? What? No fair, you're shutting up too.
Enough already. We already have enough to deal with concerning Nakito. Please, do not say anything else that will confuse us.
Hey,
Anyway, let's begin.
this is
But,
just...
I mean, in the end, we still have to do it, right? As long as a killing happens, we can't do anything about it, right? We have no choice but to do it, right? Besides, it's our fault that we couldn't even prevent
I know, that's the only way we can survive,
Nice.
right? Looks like you kids are more well behaved than Monomi.
With me.
We're tired of this too, you know. That's why I definitely make sure to finish this for good this time.
Does that mean you guys are getting bored of this cruel trip? Don't worry, the end is near.
What's
The end?
matter?
Don't make a face like a pig that's about to become bacon. You've already noticed it, right? The meaning behind the Monokuma timer. I guess there's only 2 days left, huh?
And that time will reach 0, 2 days from now. What will happen to us?
Hmm? The killing school trip will be over. If this finally be over, does that mean we can go home?
What are you gonna do?
Don't count your beers before they've hatched. Bears, I mean. There's still something you can't tell before that, right? So, once again.
The Monokuma file!
Wow.
Phew.
You guys need to find out who Nakito's killer is and survive the class trial. If this ends here, there won't be an afterward
Do
at all.
your best. Wait! I
Hold
will
on.
forgive you.
I won't let you escape this time. Wait right there. What do you guys think? If the school trip is nearly at an end, it's safe to think that we can go home, right?
Still,
Kasuichi, I understand how you feel, but we need to focus on Akito's case first. Even if we can't go home, it'll be the end for us if we screw up here.
right.
Then let's hurry up and solve Nikita's case so we can all go back home.
However,
It's nice to think everyone can go home, but that is impossible, right? I mean, someone in this room killed Nakito. There's a killer among us. The weight of those words began to sink into me. That was true to previous cases, but was it really true this time? No matter how much I tried, I couldn't believe it. Because the victim was Nakito? Because his death was so abnormally cruel? No, it wasn't just that. There was something more to it than that. And whatever it was stuck inside me. First, we need to look at the Monokuma file. The victim is Nakito Kumaeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled to his right hand. What a tragic situation. Just reading this is making me depressed. Is there something wrong with the Monokuma file? Again? But what's wrong with it? Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled to his right hand.
Yep.
It's definitely weird. Well, I guess I'll find out if I look around. That's what the investigation is for. Don't worry or form conclusion on your own. That makes me more worried than I should be. We can discuss it later. Right now is our only chance to investigate. So we should investigate first. If we don't, there won't be anything for us to discuss. Well, I guess you're right. Then let's start with the area surrounding Akito's body. I should start with the back of the warehouse. Since the curtain blocked most of the water, this area wasn't affected by splinters that much. Thanks to that, I can properly investigate Nakito's body. I never thought I'd have to investigate Nakito's body. He probably didn't expect to end up like this either. God, yeah, it's so horrific murder. Alright, I guess we're just gonna start from left to right. It mattered for Kandom's killing and for Mikan's. It looks like it's different this time. It doesn't matter this time. What doesn't matter? The time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written in the Monokuma file. The time of that was noon sharp. If it was at noon, what were we doing at that time? What were we doing? Well, right now it's 12:30 PM. So it also has a clock function. Then that means Nakito died 30 minutes ago. It happened that recently? It's totally a fresh kill. Fresh seems like a bad way to describe it. If it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the time you were struggling with bombs? You're right. Those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon. Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nakito's killer. But this could be like when Nakamura died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Also, the crime is very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare. Then whoever doesn't have an alibi before he found the bombs is suspicious. Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm not freaking out about it like Kasuichi, but I definitely can't stop thinking about it. When the Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's going to happen? What's gonna happen?
Obviously wrong.
This Rat's school trip is gonna end, right? We can finally go back home.
have hate till the end. Does that mean you think that will happen? Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends.
What do you mean something? Do you mean there's killing all you know? What could be worse than that?
I don't know. But that's Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this will land smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like you said before, this crew up here at the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. Yeah, I know.
Don't bring up strange stuff like that.
Alright, nothing useful yet. Chiaki, you have always something useful. Nope, she's looking off into the distance. She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. Yep, the ceiling's made of ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling? Yeah, about that sprinkler. There's one of the sprinklers that activates to put out the fire. You can see a critter right next to it, right? There. Can you see the red streak? Huh? You're right, I definitely see it. It looks like a small red line on the ceiling curtain. Is that blood? Blood? That color definitely looks like blood. But there's no way blood could get up there, right? Plus, it's in a straight line. That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. It's definitely strange. I should remember this. Alright. Well, onto the main attraction. I never expect Nikita to die like this. He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. But even so, dying like this is just too cool. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times we were only able to reach the truth because of him. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again. No, now is the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. Akira's right wrist is tied with rope. But it looks like the tip of that rope burned off. Could this be a result of the fire? But that's weird. If the rope is burned up like this, why are Akira's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? Well, let's check the knife as well. The knife is stabbed to Nikita's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cool? The knife. It must be from the military base. Military base? Ah, now that you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife. By the way, it seems the wounds in his legs and left arms were caused by the same knife. Which means, after the killer was finished stabbing Nikita's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife to his right hand, and then they finished him off with a spear. How cool. Then, does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using two weapons? A knife and a spear? They could have just killed him by stabbing him with the knife. Why did they need to use a spear at all? That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it? A reason they had to use the spear, huh? Let's check his face. He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonized look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. Was this to keep Nikita from screaming for help?
This is bad.
Jeez, what a horrible look at his face. The blood spread all over it doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape, otherwise I won't be able to look at him.
Got a minute. Sorry, excuse me. Chiaki moved past Kashichi and me and squatted down next to Nikita's face. And in one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off his mouth. She started giving mouth to mouth as well, and pumping his chest. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine. I can bring it back to life. I'll put it back right away once I'm done investigating.
I think the tape back isn't the issue. You're a great big swine. You're gonna get cursed.
The blood on Nikita's face. Looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. If that's the case...
It's no use, she's not listening.
Hey, about the blood splattered on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape.
What's wrong with that?
Well,
This duct tape has crinkles, like it was sticking toward the inside of his mouth, right? Nakito was probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape.
Sissy, what's wrong with that?
She means Nakito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about?
I don't really get it. We just met the duct tape back on his mouth already.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, this might be some kind of clue too. I should remember it. Yeah, it's definitely going to be important. Well, let's check out the left hand. There's a cut on his upper left hand. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this one looks like a slice. That's probably the reason that the wound on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to his other wounds. Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound, and there's blood everywhere.
Super difficult.
There's something strange. Strange what? Look at the palm of his left hand. I think the blood is from when his left arm was sliced, but... Doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm. Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it's splattered. Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but... Is there something else that's strange? When you flip it over and look at the back of his hand. Here, there's also blood only above the middle joint of each finger. You're right. Why is it only on this part? See, it's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win. Yeah, sure, you win. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? Huh. Well, let's focus on the spear now. A spear with a fleshy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nakito's stomach. There's no way around it. That looks like the fatal wound.
Oh my, what's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it. I see. He used the cord as a whip to capture the enemy, and deliver the final blow with the spear.
Is this your first time looking at this too?
Of course not. This is a spear of Cognir, right?
You definitely just came up with that now.
By the way, I want to ask you, where did that spear come from?
I feel like I saw that in Sumi Castle.
What? Mizumi Castle? I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you mice! Damn you all to hell!
I see. Even he doesn't want to know what's inside that castle. Well, more importantly, I need to focus on that investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord coming out of the handle. It looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. It's about the size of a human fist. It's strange that this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Also, Shaki mentioned this earlier, but apparently that spear came from the Sumi Castle. It might be better if I confirm that later. Spear of Gongnir. Well, moving on to his feet. Both of Nakito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie up Nakito, they also stabbed his legs? Why would the killer do something like that? At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The killer must have been holding a huge grudge towards him. Or they might have been torturing him. Torture? I mean, if they just wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? If you disregard the spear in his chest, the other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nakito's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nakito confess? Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so.
Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge toward Nakito. Now, listening to them die easily, I can totally understand the dark impulse like that. But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? I guess I'm done with the area surrounding Kito's body. Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? My classmate's dead body is right in front of me, and one of my peers is the killer responsible. And I have to investigate his death so I can find his killer. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. Well, because here, do you have anything useful to say?
One of us killed Akito in such a cruel way. It's so bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh.
No, of course not. Looks like a bunch of plastic bottles. Remnants of plastic are scattered all over the place. This is probably... those fire grenades that we used to put out the fire. But they weren't actually that useful in the end. The fire was only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers. Well, nevertheless, this evidence really isn't all that strange. Oh my god, Monokuma's dead. There's blood coming out of his stomach. Hey.
No response. Is that Jim?
Just kidding. I'm not dead. Is this one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory?
If you're mistaking a plushie for me, there's something wrong with you.
You're a stuffed animal too.
Oh, but oversized garbage, Joe. It's so misleading. Well, what are you calling oversized garbage?
Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? And why did he do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed and going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood. Did he try to imitate Nakito's body or something?
What are you saying?
I had nothing to do with that.
Huh?
So evil.
He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like the
What's
plushie
this?
over there. You seem more pissed than usual these days. Monomi? But you better watch what you're saying. If you feel like it, if I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know. Here, I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you until the very end. I would definitely expect to see the world supremacy from Monokuma.
Looks like those annoyances are gone. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done this? If so, is this Nakito's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incident. Hello, Sanya.
Just as I thought.
If only everyone could go home. Nothing would make me happier. No, we should finish the clash well, then we can think about what will happen after. Well, there's one thing left to investigate. Ah, it's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. If the oil lighter was placed here.
Just kidding.
Ah, an oil lighter. Someone probably wants to keep warm. It's a most foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire. Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them.
Which means?
So using that, the curtain was set on fire. Using the oil lighter. Using the oil lighter, huh? Do you think the killer set up some sort of trick with it?
You are right.
The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. They cause the fire to destroy evidence? That's the only reason I can think of why a killer would set fire to their crimes, but... No then, I guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. This killer girl wasn't just killing Nakito. There should have been another reason as well. If not, they wouldn't have gone through trouble of tying him with rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So, what's the reason? Looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside this warehouse first. Alright, then let's just take a step back. And... Alright, I guess the Monokuma panels are interesting laid out. There are a lot of tipped over Monokuma panels. The panel near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? But why are they scattered like this? The last time I came here I seem to recall... I should have been able to keep it away. Maybe we're the ones who made this mess. Huh? Look, the tipped over panel by the entrance is really close to the door, right? So maybe the reason these panels are tipped over is... It's fine, I'll open it slowly. No, that's not a problem. Seriously, it will be fine. Yeah, he tries to open it. It's not opening. Oh no. Let's break it down then. And yeah, we want to show it. Could it be? Was that it? There's something else I've been wondering.
Hey, hey.
These Monokuma panels are tipped over starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse, right? They seem to be lying on top of each other in a straight line. Yeah, compared to the other tipped over panels, that line is the only one that's neat and orderly.
So...
Isn't this clearly strange? Strange, that means... We can speculate this was done intentionally. Oh, another level up. This is an MP3 player. There's even a speaker plugged into it. But why is this here?
Maybe... It looks like a weird music was playing from there. You know, the music that was playing when the fire started.
Yeah, you're right.
Looks like it's busted from getting drenched by the sprinklers. There's no mistaking it. That music was playing from that MP3 player.
I don't disagree with that, but... Why was the killer playing music from this? Well, everyone has his own theme song. I mean... Jason has the kick, mama, mama. MP3 player has been added to the puppet that you do. Chucky, you have always something useful to say. Looks like the site is completely soaked because of the sprinkler. Even if it also no clue here, you might not be able to notice it. But it's better than the warehouse burning to the ground. Good thing we were able to put out a fire. But there was a lot of smoke. It's a good thing we didn't go inside when we were throwing the grenades. I agree. If we did, we would have been caught by the sprinklers and become all wet and soggy.
This sign is all wet. She's a drenched soggy. Hey! You were thinking that, huh? I wasn't thinking that at all. Why are we responding, Kazuichi? I was asking Hachimate. You're screwing with me? Yes. Oh my, screwing? Oh dude. Hey. Please don't look at me with such fearful eyes. I only imagined for a second.
Kazuichi, you should probably just keep your mouth shut already. Akane?
Hey.
Yeah, no, you always said this. Looks like Sonia is focused on investigating the warehouse. Which reminds me, there's something I need to ask her about. Now that we've pretty much finished investigating the kid's body, I think it's time to talk to her. Hey Sonia, do you have a minute? Yes, what is it? Do you want to go on a date with me? You know, I couldn't find the right timing, and you know what, I thought might as well do it now. I want to talk to you about when that fake bomb locator set in the warehouse exploded. Huh? Right before it exploded, you said something like this, right? It is alright, it is not a bomb. Why did you know the bombs were fake? Well... That's not all, either. When we were looking for the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching the central island. Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Where were you and what were you doing during that time? Oh my! Do you suspect me? It is a misunderstanding. I am not the killer.
Jesus shit! You son of a bitch!
Sonia?
Sorry.
I'm terribly sorry. I was panicking. I shall come down and explain to you why I was at the military base. when I first explored the final island and discovered the vast amount of bombs there. Huh? At first I was worried that someone might use them for various reasons. If I announced it to everyone. So I kept silent the whole time. Does that mean when you were in Akito planted bombs, you got suspicious and went to investigate them? And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. And because you were searching for them, you were late when we all gathered.
Please listen.
And because of that, I reached a conclusion. The bombs Akito brought were from the military base, which means they were fake bombs. How did you find out that the bombs at the military base were fake? Because I attempted to use one of them. I tried to blow up Kazuichi's cottage. Because fucking really? What? I doubt one of the bombs was strong enough to blast over the door to that ancient ruin. At the time I still believed the bombs were real. And I thought I could use one of them to gain entrance to the ancient ruin.
However, that plan was an utter failure. The bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display. God damn it all to hell!
God damn it all to hell!
See, so that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake.
I did. As did Monami as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb. Which means...
If those bombs are the same ones that disappeared, it would mean that Akito took them. That is why I knew it was a fake. However, I did think it was strange when Akito blew up the hotel lobby. That bomb was real, and I could not stop thinking about it. But upon further reflection, that might have been Akito's plan all along. He showed us a real bomb to make us believe that the bombs he said were real as well. If so, then Akito's actions were extremely calculated. But the problem is his reason for doing it. With this, I have explained everything. There should be no more reason for you to doubt me. You're right, I got it. I mean, fair enough. Alright, I've pretty much finished looking for clues inside the warehouse. I was able to find some clues, but there are still so many things I don't understand yet. You look worried. Yeah, I am. At a time like this, it might be good if you broaden your investigation range. You mean it's good to investigate other places as well? You might be right. There are several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. The military base that Sonia mentioned, the plushie factory next door. Nasumi Castle where the spirit originally came from, and Akito's home too. I'm going to understand the reason for his actions. I need to know more about him. I'm pretty sure the others have already finished investigating.
Hear me?
Hey you guys, isn't it about time we leave this place and try exploring other areas too? In response to Chiaki, the others gathered around her. I agree. I was just thinking about proceeding to another area. It seems we had the same idea. But as you say, there won't be anyone to guard the crime scene. We don't have a choice. There just aren't enough of us. Besides, we investigate all we can here. I guess you're right. Also, it looks like the clues we found aren't enough to piece this incident together. So we need to search for them in other areas, probably. Well, alternatively, if there aren't any clues in other areas either, we'd have to give up completely. You don't really need to say that. Then it's okay if we leave this place. There's no time for us to stand around. In order to survive, there's no other way except to do it. In order to survive, we need to find Akito's killer. If we don't sacrifice that person, nobody can survive. That's our reality. That's right, there's no time for us to stand around. But I am going to wait till next episode. I guess in the next episode we'll finish the other areas. See you guys then. Goodbye.